Hello, hello, hello. I am sorry it has been so long. Morty, Pumpkinhead, and I got stuck in customs at the Miami airport after our cruise. Something about being not allowed to bring a Mexican tomatoes into the U.S.? Who would have thought 10-pound bag of tomatoes would cause such an uproar? Well, I'm sorry I missed your first unit, though I heard you were rather successful without me. Good for you. Good for you. Makes a girl feel unneeded, although, I must admit. So now we moved right on to India, I hear. I love India. I worked in India as a monkey groomer when I was a teenager. Those monkeys, they are mean little suckers. They'll take a tuna sandwich right out of your hands. But I digress. India has a long history steeped in a little conflict. You see, the first empire to live there was the Mughals. Babur ruled first. No, not the elephant. Do you know who I'm talking about? Was it before your time? Am I aging myself? Anyways, he ruled and then his son Akbar ruled, and he was one of the greatest leaders the area had ever seen. He increased trade. Lucky for him that spices and tea were popular and much wanted. I like tea and spices. Not Morty. If he eats too much spice, he gets a rash on his hands. Poor guy can't even eat a Taco Mac buffalo wing. You know who's in the room right now messing with my light? Professor Snugglebutt. Let me move her because she's in my way. Professor Snugglebutt, come here. Everybody say hi. I know she looks a little different. A little mad. That's okay. Go away, Professor Snugglebutt. But anyway, I know we were talking about the Taco Mac wings. There she is again. I love some Taco Mac. I like the cheese dip, the queso. Queso, that's in Spanish for cheese dip. You see the tail? Now she's putting a butt in my face. She's mad at me for being on the cruise for so long. Couldn't bring a cat. Anyway, we know what happens next. Here she is again. Professor Snugglebutt's ruined my video for you. I'm so sorry. Anyways, like I was saying, we know what happens next. Anytime a country is getting all successful and doing well, who comes along and take it? Who knows? Who knows the answer? Anybody? The stinking British, that too. So in the 1600s, the British decided to establish a trading company called the East India Trading Company. I know, really original name. Wonder if it's in East India. It's like, excuse me. It's like Georgia and all the Peachtree streets and roads and ways. Come on, people, be creative. What if I just named Pumpkinhead Dog? And I would yell, dog, come here, dog. At the dog park, every dog would come. No one would know the difference. Well, by the 1850s, the EITC, let's abbreviate, East India Trading Company, shall we, controlled most of India. And let me tell you, they were not kind to those Indian people. They treated them like second-class citizens, just like when they went to South Africa, right? The British had leaders called viceroys. That was the answer to a Final Jeopardy question the other day. I got it right. I was so excited. Morty didn't even know what I was talking about. Anyway, the viceroys, they controlled the country's territories like little British representatives. The British, they made the taxes harsher and tried to control the Indians' land. Once, my neighbor Philomena, she tried to control my land. She planted... Hold on.
Reg Clean Pro detected problems that need your
Hold
attention.
on.
Click Fix Issues to resolve
I don't want to
problems.
fix any issues. If you can't hear that, my computer wants me to fix issues. I don't have time to fix issues right now. That's Morty's job. Between the cat and the viruses on my computer, how many issues can I have? Alright, moving on to Philomena. She once tried to control my land. She planted a lemon tree on her side of the fence. And the lemons, they would drop and pollute my grass. I say pollute because Pumpkinhead would eat them. And then she would spit the seeds all over my house, polluting my lovely plush carpeting. We put an end to that right there, quickly. Cut that tree right down. No lemons for anyone. But I digress. The EITC caused famines due to their need for cash crops. So sad. So sad. The British, they lived a good life, while the Indians, they suffered. The British did do some good things here and there in India. They created railroads, which made trade easier. They brought the telephone and the telegraph and modernized roads and canals and buildings. It was not that bad at all. But it was not that good either. You see, those British, they took control over all the politics in India and the government. They did things that did not allow the Indians to properly, the religion of the Indians, which we all know is Hinduism, to be properly practiced. And it was a shame, such a shame. You know what else is a shame? Meatloaf animal contest. Did you know there was such a thing? I didn't know until on the cruise. On the cruise, Morty and I took a few classes on how to create animal shapes using meatloaf. We're not using animals to make meatloaf. That'd be cruel. I only use tofu crumbles. We use peppers and marshmallows to create the eyes and little candies to create the feet and pepperoni for the belly. We didn't eat the pepperoni. That's just rude. And it's also spicy. It gives Morty some heartburn. Well, the shame in all of this is that we have entered 14 contests since we left the cruise and haven't won a single one. I think the judges are a bit against our tofu. It's a shame. A real shame. But I digress. All of these issues brought about of nationalism or pride in one's country. This pride made people feel I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. This pride made people want to be free from the evil rulings of the British. The Indians founded the Indian National Congress in the Muslim League, two groups fighting for the same thing but not necessarily together. You see, the INC, Indian National Congress, was made of Hindus, but the ML, or Muslim League, was made of Muslims. I know, another original name, right? They both wanted freedom, but they didn't really like each other. You know what I want freedom? I want freedom from that Professor Snugglebutt over there. She's a pain in my butt. Always meowing, refusing to walk in the booties I bought her on the cruise. And that I also knit. Wanting food and water and to be pet. Leave me alone for a few minutes, Professor. Can't I just have peace and quiet? Well, you know what else wanted peace? Gandhi. That's who. He was a great leader who fought for India's independence. When I say fought, I don't mean with guns and knives, but I mean with words and protests. Okay, well, I have to go because Morty's downstairs and the Super Bowl's on tonight and I have to get ready for the commercials. Do you like my new hair? When I was in Miami, I learned about Snooki. I know I'm a little slow, but I liked her hair. Her hair back when she was on Jersey Shore, she had nice hair. I learned how to do that in a cruise workshop too. Anyway, there's another meatloaf competition tomorrow, and I need to dice up some churros and stew some mushrooms. It was lovely seeing you all. You all look great. I see the new year is being kind to you, and I can't wait to see you again sometime soon. Until next time, this is Mrs. Q, and I'm out.